Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marisa and today we're going to talk all about how to purge your wardrobe. Last week I put a poll up on my Instagram page and 82% of you said that you have too many things in your closet. So today we're going to talk about how to get rid of some of the things to free up some space in your wardrobe. A couple of weeks ago I posted a video all about how I organize our small closets in our home. I have a 3-foot wide closet in my bedroom and a 3-foot wide linen closet, and I walked you through a little bit of the ways that I keep my closets organized and functioning really well for me. In talking about my bedroom closet, I shared with you guys that I created this framework a number of years ago called the 40 hanger closet. And it essentially is just the system that I took myself through to figure out what my own style is. What is it that I feel good in? What do I want more of in my wardrobe? What do I have in my wardrobe right now that isn't really me and I want less of? And I went through this whole process, and it started because we moved into this house that had 3-foot wide closets and I had to purge my wardrobe. Well, I've received comments from you guys here and over on Instagram asking a little bit more about that. So today we're going to talk about the purging process in the 40 hanger closet. If you want to see that video, I will link it in the description box below, as well as the 40 hanger closet download. It's a free download that I made once I walked myself through this whole process, and I had such a great experience and learned so much about myself in the process. I created it into like a little PDF download for you guys. It's totally free. You can click the link in the description box and take yourself through this workbook that helps you discover your own personal style so that you don't stand in front of your closet filled with clothes and say, I have nothing to wear. We've all been there, right? So as we start this process, just be aware that this will take a little bit of time. You have to set the environment up to begin the process of purging your closet. It's not something you just do quickly. So just be aware. I always suggest that women set the mood for that. Turn on some music that you love. Have a snack or a drink on hand that you love. Wear something comfortable. Have your hair in a way that's not going to bother you or be getting in the way. Just light a candle. Just create an atmosphere where you're like, okay, this is a treat for me. I'm going to enjoy this process. Maybe have a friend join you, but create an environment where you're going to really thoroughly dive in and give yourself fully to this, because you will feel so much better at the end, I promise. I'm going to walk you through 7 questions that I ask myself about items in my closet and whether I wanted to keep them or get rid of them. And hopefully as you process through these types of questions, it will really help you make some quick decisions about some things, or at least get you thinking about some things you're unsure of to determine if you want to have it in your closet in the long run. So before we dive into the 7 questions, I would love it if you would take a second and tap subscribe and be a part of this growing community. I typically post a new video all about interior design on Thursdays, although right now we're kind of branching off and exploring a little bit more about fashion and building a wardrobe. We'll see what happens. At the foundation of the 7 questions I'm going to ask you really is this concept of what do you need? And for you, what you need might be different than what I need. And that word need actually can vary from person to person. I might say I need 3 denim jackets because they're all different styles and different colors, whereas you might say more literally, well, I don't need 1 denim jacket. I just need a jacket for when the weather's cool. So figure out for you what your version of the word need is, and that will really help set the foundation for answering all of the other questions. Once you know I really do need to feel good about myself. I need clothes for work. I need clothes that are comfortable. I need clothes that fit me. I need clothes that reflect who I am. Once you can figure out what your definition of the word need is for this experiment, then it will help you more honestly answer the 7 questions. So let's dive into the 7 questions. Number 1, does it fit? Now I understand that so many of us are in between sizes or working towards being a size that maybe we aren't currently. There could be lots of reasons why our closets have clothes of a variety of different sizes hanging in them, but just hear me out for a second. If you don't actively wear the clothes that are hanging in your closet because they don't fit, whether they're too big or too small, I highly recommend removing all of them from the closet. You don't have to get rid of them, but just removing the visual clutter of seeing all of these clothes that are no longer an option because they don't fit. It will just be a relief for you when you're choosing your outfits in the morning. So store them in another closet or get a big Rubbermaid bin or a tote of some sort where you can just store them and keep them until you're ready to deal with those things. But if it doesn't fit, I highly recommend getting it out of the closet. Number 2, do I like this? That might sound really silly, but If we've ever stood in front of our closet filled with clothes and said, I have nothing to wear, that means there's items in our closets we don't actually like. So take a second, look at every item of clothing and ask yourself, do I like this? And if the answer is no, put it in a donate pile. Number 3, is it in good condition? If you love it and if it fits and it reflects you and all of the things we're gonna discuss, but if it's a piece of like ripped, tattered, worn out looking yuckiness, you're probably not gonna wear it. So is it in good condition? If it's not, can it be repaired? Can you take it to a seamstress or somewhere where they can alter it or do a repair on it? Or is it like, it's not fixable and I love this thing, but it's truly not serving me any good anymore? As Marie Kondo would say in her book, just thank it for serving you well and let it go. You know, just like have a moment with it and then let it go. Get it out of your life. Number 4 is, do I feel good wearing this? So I've got some clothes in my closet, I put them on and I think, meh, and I don't know, I'm uncomfortable all day, or maybe I'm self-conscious all day. You get ready and you leave for work in the morning and all day long you're like distracted with an uncomfortable clothing choice or something that doesn't quite fit, or you feel like maybe it doesn't reflect you, maybe it's too bold or too loud, or the fabric's uncomfortable, whatever it might be. But ask yourself the question, do I feel good wearing this? And if the answer is no, get rid of it. I'm serious. If you go through this whole process and you end up with like half the clothes at the end than you have at the beginning, don't look at it like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have nothing to wear. You actually are doing the really hard work right now of getting rid of all the stuff you're never gonna wear anyways, and only providing yourself with options that you actually wanna wear. So, do I feel good wearing it? No, get rid of it. Question number 5 is, have I worn it in the last 6 months? It could be, have I worn it in the last year? I know some people who do it seasonally. If it's a spring outfit, did I wear this last spring? That's one question you could ask yourself to see, do I really like this? Am I actually still wearing it? Or am I holding on to it for some reason? I'm not quite sure. There is no right or wrong answers to these questions. They're all just helping you discover a little bit more about what your likes and dislikes are and what your style is. Should you come across an item of clothing and you're like, I don't know if I want to get rid of this. Either I didn't wear it last season, but it's not because I don't want to, it's because I was in a lockdown and it was COVID or whatever the reason is. You might want to hold on to it, but you're just unsure. Then one simple tip, a little tiny strategy you could employ with all of the clothes you're not 100% sure of if you want to keep, is to hang them back in your closet, but backwards. So instead of having the hanger hang over the rod facing away from you, just turn it around and have the hook of the hanger facing towards you. That's it, just hang it in there backwards. As you live your life and go about getting ready every day, come back in a number of months and evaluate, do I still have hangers that are facing the wrong direction? And if so, maybe it's time to get rid of them. You might want to check in every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, once a year, whatever you choose. But it's a really easy way once you reach that time period to say, yeah, that hanger is still facing the wrong way. I clearly haven't worn it, don't really want to keep it. And then you can make a more informed decision to get rid of it. You may discover as you're asking yourself these questions that the answer could be no to all of them, like meaning everything should lead you to wanting to get rid of it, but something inside of you says, I just don't want to part with it. For those items of clothing, I would highly recommend you ask yourself the question, am I emotionally attached to this item of clothing? I've had so many conversations over the years with women who are going through this process of purging their closets, only keeping clothes that they really feel great in, that reflect who they are, and that are gonna serve them well for this season of their life. And I'm not really surprised anymore at the amount of people who have to like pause and just take a look at an item of clothing and say, why am I so attached to this? So one of my friends who was going through this process, she called me up and she was like, I can't get rid of this dress that hasn't fit me in 20 years. It's in my closet. It will never fit me again. It was from when I was a teenager. I literally will never wear this dress again, but I'm literally almost at the verge of tears when I think about this dress. And so we just kind of got chatting about it. Well, what is it about that dress? What's the emotional attachment? And as she sat there with those feelings, she uncovered why. And in her case, it had to do with the season of life that she was in and some things she was experiencing, and getting rid of that item of clothing almost felt like she was cutting off this beautiful season of life from her memory. And once she recognized the emotional attachment she had to that item of clothing, she was able to get rid of it and still keep the memories and keep the positive feelings from that season of life without having that item of clothing in her closet. But what if some of the emotional attachments to our clothes are actually negative? What if we have an old sweatshirt in the back of our closet from a boyfriend we had 15 years ago, and now you're happily married and you've moved on with your life? What's the value of keeping something that's holding us to another time of our past in the closet that we choose our clothes from when we get ready every day? If there's some negative emotions connected to some of our items of clothing, you're gonna feel like a weight has been lifted by just taking a moment and processing those emotions and saying, that was a really hard season, or that was an amazing season, or I was really hurt in that season of my life, or if I get rid of this, I feel like I'm shedding like a dream of something that I really want to see happen in my future. Sit with those emotions and process them and find out, is there a healthy alternative to carrying those things? Is there a healthy alternative to dealing with some of those emotions and putting them to rest? Is there a healthier way to carry those emotions with you as you move forward to the future you're anticipating? But is that piece of clothing necessary, or is it actually like emotional baggage that's weighing you down and that subconsciously comes into your mind when you open up your closet every day, see the items of clothing you're choosing to wear, and it's there? Is it just like sucking some negativity in a moment of your day when you really don't want to invest negativity into getting ready in the day? So take that for what it's worth, process through that. If you have any emotional attachment to any of your pieces of clothing, just sit with it and figure out why. You might find that you are really well served by getting rid of that item of clothing. My dog is barking at other humans just living their lives. So that brings us to question number 7, and does this item of clothing reflect who I want to be? I talk to women who are in this process of purging out their wardrobes, and there's sometimes this like line of like, this is who I've been, but this is who I want to be. This is who I'm growing and evolving into becoming. And does this item of clothing that might tick all of the other boxes, do I see it coming with me into the future that really can express who I want to be? Or is it kind of like carrying the old me, someone who I used to be, but I'm not really that person anymore? It's really important that when we open our closets in the morning and we're choosing what to wear, that we are left staring at a selection of clothing that fits, that we love, that we feel great in, that's comfortable, that is a reflection of who we are and who we're growing to be. And if we've done the work of purging all of the stuff that is a clear no to all of that, then I promise you getting ready in the morning is gonna be a heck of a lot easier, and you're gonna be able to pull together outfits a little bit more easily. This is one way that you can purge your closets and help create more space in your closet so that you don't have things just stuffed and crammed full. But I hope that more than creating space in your closet, that this actually creates some space for you emotionally and mentally. I hope that this helps you learn a little bit more about yourself, your likes and your dislikes, so that your closet can be filled with clothes that you really love and that reflect you. I'm gonna go a little bit more deeper into this series with the 40 hanger closet and just explain a little bit more about it over the next coming months, because it would be a real drag if you go through all the work to purge your closet, but then don't take some next steps to ensure that you don't get back to the place where your closet is filled with clothes and you still feel like I have nothing to wear. So purging is just step 1 in the journey. If you want to read more about it, like I said, it's a free download. It has helped me so much that I really hope that it helps you. I will link it in the description box below. In the meantime, if you have any questions or want to chat about this, drop me a comment here in the comments. Come see me on Instagram. I would love to chat more with you about this whole idea of purging your closet so you can be free to be who you were created to be. That's it for this week's video. You guys will see you back here next week at I Am Loved.